So I don't know if some of you heard this story or not, but it's coming out of Missouri. And let me tell you how very, I guess you can say, wide open they're leaving this particular story. So basically, what happened is you had this person come into a hair salon over the span of like 8 days and exposed numerous people to the virus because they didn't know that they had it. Now, the reason why I only have the Missouri sign up here is because I skimmed through the article. They don't mention the name of the hair salon. They don't mention the city it was in. They don't mention the person who had it. Nothing. They just said it happened in Missouri. So it's like no possible way for you to really figure out where exactly it happened at and who had it. Now I can understand maybe if they didn't want to put the person's name out there or whatever, but for contextual purposes, they left a lot of other stuff out in the open that is hard to figure out what, because it could have happened anywhere in Missouri. They don't specify exactly where, like what city, what county, or what's the name of the business. But I'm going to go ahead and read this article coming from The Guardian. A Missouri hairstylist may have exposed 91 customers and coworkers to the virus, public health officials said after the state's governor allowed businesses, including salons, to reopen on May 4th. The stylist who tested positive for the virus worked at a salon in Springfield. Okay. So they did give the location. My bad. On 8 different days while experiencing the virus symptoms. And while I can scratch the part off about the city, that's about the most contextual stuff they give. Everything else they don't put out there, like the name of the salon it happened at. Because the stylists and the customers wore face coverings, health officials said on Friday they hoped the interactions would lead to no additional cases. Those potentially exposed would be contacted and offered testing, officials said. The potential exposure started a little more than a week after Missouri allowed salons to open. I hope that the other states in cities and towns or whatever are paying attention to what's going on. First, you had that situation that happened in California with that church. Now you have this situation that's happening in Missouri with this hair salon. The push by 45 and some state governors to reopen most businesses with some public health modifications such as social distancing and masks come as public health officials warn that relaxing restrictions will certainly lead to new outbreaks. Dr. Anthony Fauci, a member of the White House's virus task force, said on Friday that new local outbreaks were more inevitable as prevention measures are loosened. But on Thursday, at a visit to a Ford automobile plant in Michigan, 45 once again emphasized its focus on getting the economy moving and the stock market recovered as soon as possible. This coming from the guy who they did get a picture of, I don't know if y'all saw it or not, of him wearing a mask, like behind the scenes, but then the minute he came out into the forefront, he didn't have the mask on. A permanent lockdown is not a strategy for a health state or a healthy country or a healthy establishment, I said. 45 said on Thursday, our country wasn't meant to be shut down. I don't have to go into a whole diatribe of what could have better preventative measures when it comes to this situation right here, and how we probably would not have been in this worse of a shape. I'm not going to go into that. I already talked about that in a previous video. This establishment is poised for an epic comeback, he said. Just watch, it's already happening. Okay, if he says so. As of Saturday morning, according to figures collected by Johns Hopkins University, more than 1.6 million cases of the virus has been confirmed in the U.S. with more than 96,000 deaths. In debates about how quickly to reopen the different business across the establishment, barbershops and hair salons have become a political flashpoint among conservative Americans, with some owners reopening in defiance of public health measures. In Michigan, a barber who refused to close his shop despite shelter-at-home orders staged a haircutting protest at the state capitol, which he dubbed Operation Haircut. In Texas, a hair salon owner known as Shelley Luther, who was briefly jailed after keeping her business open in defiance of public health orders and who then refused to apologize in court for what she did, has been championed by Republican leaders. The Texas Senator Ted Cruz visited her salon for a haircut. In Missouri, county health officials said local residents who had been in the same location as the hairstylist with the virus, but who had not had direct contact, were believed to be at very low risk. So they say. While infectious, the same individual also visited a Walmart and a Dairy Queen and made 3 visits to a local gym. So this person has literally exposed this virus to way more than 91. It's just that the 91 counts for those who came in and out of the shop the day that this person was there, that they were working. But they said they also went to a Walmart, a Dairy Queen, and made 3 visits to a local gym, which means they exposed people in those locations as well. And Walmart, as big as that store is, that's a lot of people. Gyms as well, depending on how many people was in the gym that day that they went, which would include the workers. And Dairy Queen is a very small spot. It's very closed in. So that means the workers who was working there got exposed as well, and any customers who was in that facility at the same time as they were. Because I think they said the person is asymptomatic. I would hate that this person knew that they had it and still decided to come out there anyway. But then again, you never know. Missouri's Governor Michael Parson did not immediately respond to a request for comment on whether the potential exposure of 91 people at a hair salon will alter the state's thinking on whether salons and barbershops should remain open during the pandemic. They should. 91 people. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. Missouri's current public health guidance will expire on May 31st. The state has said it will reevaluate the plan and may tighten some restrictions or loosen others. That's probably why they're scared to say anything. And they probably like, damn, this person ruined it. We was on the fast track to reopening or loosening up some of these restrictions, and you just had to bring your woo-woo written ass out of hiding and just give it to all these and expose all these people to it. But yeah, like I said, this establishment is not ready to completely go, really open and go full throttle with this. They're not ready. They're just not ready. And people keep rushing it, which is why you're going to continue hearing more and more stories like this.